Problem number 51. This is actually called a perfect square trinomial, and you'll see why. And there's a pattern for this, but you know, when I see these, I just factor them like I'm used to factoring things, factoring trinomials. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to set up my two sets of parentheses and then factor as usual. So for the a squared, I'll get an a and an a. Now what do you want to use for the 49 to give us a 14? Well, how about a 7? 7 and a 7. And the 49 is positive, so the 7s have the same sign, which is that middle plus. But the way I'm going to write it is like this. I got an a plus 7 and a plus 7. So I'm going to write this like this. A plus 7 squared. So we call this trinomial a perfect square trinomial. In 53, I'm just going to factor this as if it were a normal trinomial here. And I'm going to get my parentheses. How about a W and a W? And to get this 4 here, I'm going to use a 2 and a 2, right? A 2 and a 2, I can get a 4. I'm not going to use a 4 and a 1. So I'm going to use a 2 and a 2. The last term here is positive, so these 2's will have the same sign, which is going to be that middle minus sign. So about minus, minus. Then I've got W minus 2, W minus 2. I've got 2 of those. So how about writing this as W minus 2 squared? And again, because of this, this is called a perfect square trinomial. But I'm just going to factor it as I factor regular trinomials. In this problem 53, notice we've got 3 terms as a trinomial, a 2, a 12, and an 18. There's a 2 common to each one of these 3 terms. So let's start here by taking that 2 out. We'll have 2 times. Now if we remove a 2, what's left is the x squared plus 6x plus 9. Now let's see what we can do with this. This will be 2 times. Let's see what happens, if anything, here. Let's see. What can we do here? How about x and x? Now for this 9, what do you want to use? A 9 and a 1? I don't think so. We're not going to get a 6. But a 3 and a 3? Sure. So let's go with a 3 and a 3. And how about a plus and a plus? These are both the same. So how about 2 times x plus 3 squared? Now, just going back to these, if you left it like this, that's okay, this is okay, this is okay, but these forms are better, right? They're more compact and they're easy to read. The instructions here are a little bit tighter. So we'll try to write from here to here, just better form. Let's do one more problem here. Let's do number 61. So what we have is this trinomial right here. I don't see anything common between 49, 28, and 4. So let's write our 2 sets of parentheses, anticipating that we can do this. And I think for the 49, I'm going to use a 7b and a 7b. I don't think 49 and 1 is going to work, but we've got to try something. The 7s are closest together. And the 4s, I could go with a 4 and a 1 or a 2 and a 2. The closer together, 2 and a 2. Both going to be minus, right? Because this last sign is positive. So they're going to have the same sign, which is that minus sign. And now, let's just run a quick check to see if this is going to work for us. So the outer product is negative 14b, and the inner product is negative 14b. 2 negative 14s are negative 28. So let's rewrite this now in a more compact form. How about 7b minus 2 squared?